Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to the first ever online version of Madison Books' regular Tuesday morning Storytime. Thanks for attending wherever you are. And without further ado, we'll get into some books. The first book is called The Old Truck, written by Jerome Pumphrey and illustrated by written by Jarrett Pumphrey and illustrated by Jerome Pumphrey. Starts off with some nice art without any words that I'll show you here. Little scene setting for you. And then it gets rolling. On a small farm, an old truck worked hard. The old truck worked long. The old truck grew weary and tired, so the old truck rested and dreamed. The old truck sailed the seas, braved the skies, and chased the stars. But the old truck grew older and older and older still. Is it still there? On a small farm, a new worker worked hard. The new farmer worked long. The new farmer grew weary and tired. But she dreamed and persisted. On a small farm, an old truck worked hard. I like that one. The next book is called Home by Carson Ellis. Home is a place we're probably all spending a lot more time than usual lately, so this seemed like the right book to pick. It's about all the different kinds of homes there are. Home is a house in the country. Sometimes it is. Or home is an apartment. Some homes are boats. Some homes are wigwams. Some are palaces or underground lairs. I like that treasure down there. See that? Or shoes. French people live in French homes. Atlanteans make their homes underwater. Didn't know that. And some folks live on the road. Wow, that looks glamorous. Clean homes, messy homes, tall homes, short homes, C homes, B homes, hollow tree homes. This is an even bigger variety of homes than I thought there would be. But whose home is this? Way up on a cliff. And what about this? Who in the world lives here, and why? This is the home of a Slovakian duchess. This is the home of a Kenyan blacksmith. different, but both homes. This is the home of a Japanese businessman. This is the home of Norse god. I know which one I'd want to live in. A babushka lives here. If you don't know what a babushka is, you can look it up. A Moonian lives here. A raccoon lives here. An artist lives here. This is my home, and this is me. Where's your home? Where are you? Good question. All right, let's do another. This is called Daydreamers by Emily Winfield Martin. She's an illustrator who lives one state south of us in Oregon, and so is Carson Ellis, come to think of it. So let's start off with this. More great illustrations. They say there are no dragons left, and that's the way it seems. To find them, you must visit the land of waking dreams. You don't need to search for secret doors or magic words to speak. Your imaginings will carry you anywhere you seek. And the ordinary world will never guess where you have gone, to chase your wandering heart into the place beyond. Or the beyond may come to you, dressed up in a disguise. Is it the wind that moves the clouds? I love those cloud shapes. Or a dragon as he flies. A tiny seaside kingdom might grow beneath your gaze, as creatures ancient as the sea rise on enchanted waves. In a place of hushed and quiet things, you might hear a phoenix call. Or in the pattering of raindrops, jackaloping paws may fall. In a hall of stones and echoes around the corner's bend, two nimble-footed unicorns meet two brave-hearted friends. So listen very closely as you read of all these things. Is it the whispering of pages? Or the sound of griffin wings? And when you leave, you learn the thing that all daydreamers learn. When you leave the realm of magic beasts, they wait for your return. I guess they'll be waiting for us in that book next time we pick it up. Okay, one more book, I think, for today. This one is near and dear to our hearts. It's called Franklin's Flying Bookshop by Jen Campbell, illustrated by Katie Harnett. Always like a book about a dragon, always like a book about a bookshop. This is both. Franklin loves stories. Stories keep him warm at night. His front door is a bookcase that keeps out the wind. There are lots of books inside the cave that Franklin lives in. He likes to read them out loud for everyone to hear. Every day, Franklin reads about King Arthur and roller skating, about electricity and baking. He reads about spiders and ballet and how to do kung fu. When the sun goes down, Franklin reads by the light of 1,000 fireflies, because fireflies like to hear stories too. But if it's a warm night, he spreads his wings and flies into the sky to read by the light of the moon. There's a village near Franklin's cave. Sometimes Franklin goes there, but it is always quiet and it is always empty, and he can never find anyone to read stories to. Why is What's that? I see people, but he doesn't see them. So Franklin goes home and reads about gymnastics and helps the bats in his cave set up a trapeze. Then he yawns very loudly and stretches his tail and climbs into bed with a cup of chamomile tea. He sleeps tucked up under hundreds of comics and dreams about Vikings sailing over the sea. One day, by the stream, Franklin sees a man. "What are you?" cries the man, quaking in his boots. "I'm Franklin," says Franklin, and he holds out his hand. "I'm a dragon who loves books, and I live in a cave." But the man drops his fishing rod and runs far away. So Franklin goes home and reads about music and helps the mice in his cave start up a band. Next day, by the farm, Franklin sees a lady. "What are you?" cries the lady, shivering on the spot. "I'm Franklin," says Franklin, and he holds out his hand. "I'm a dragon and a band manager, and I like ballet." But the lady screams loudly and runs far away. So Franklin trails home and reads about space and helps the fireflies make patterns like the stars in the sky. Next day, in the woods, Franklin sees a young girl. She has bright red hair, the same color as the leaves, and she's reading a book sitting under a tree. "Who are you?" asks the girl, jumping to her feet. I'm Franklin," says Franklin, and he holds out his hand. "I'm a dragon who likes stargazing and playing croquet." "I love dragons," cries the girl, and she shakes Franklin's hand. "You're in this book that I'm reading about a faraway land." Luna tells Franklin she's read about remote secret islands, about treasure hunts and pirates, about fruit bats and acrobats and how to be a spy. Franklin tells Luna he's read about sword fighters and fire eaters, about circuses and anteaters, about flower arranging and carol singing and making apple pie. Luna and Franklin feel like they are made out of stories. Stories with exciting beginnings, thrilling middles, and very happy ends. Stories about new people and strange places and about making friends. They want to share their favorite books with as many people as they can, so they sit down together and come up with a plan. Kind of a messy plan, but I bet it's a good one. They hoist bookshelves up high with the help of the mice and tie ropes round and round to make sure they fit tight. They move a sofa, some cake pans, tie comics on with string to make a small, lopsided bookshop between Franklin's wings. Everybody climbs on board. Luna holds her breath. The mice hold each other. The fireflies gasp and the bats cross their toes. Franklin bends down low and runs as fast as he can. He sprints down the hill and spreads out his wings and takes off into the sunset with the help of the wind. Franklin lands his flying bookshop in the middle of the village. "It's that dragon!" cries the fisherman. "What a monster!" another cries. "His name is Franklin," shouts Luna, a fierce look in her eyes. "We built this bookshop together from the books in his cave. Franklin's kind and he's clever and he's my friend." There's a small silence. Franklin shuffles his feet in the quiet street. "It's nice to meet you," he says as he waves at the crowd who've stopped in their tracks and are listening now. "We have lots of stories that we'd love to share. Please come say hello and pull up a chair." The fireflies light up the shelves, the bats cartwheel along the bookcases, and the mice clear their throats and start singing songs. It isn't long before the villagers start taking a look, climbing up onto Franklin to peer at the books. Franklin takes a deep breath as Luna passes out cake. He tells them stories about scientists and Antarctica and snakes. He whispers tales about dragons and how to make creme brulee, and everyone is listening to what he has to say. "Let's fly," Luna smiles as the fireflies dance and the acrobatic bats show off their kung fu. So they all hold on tight as Franklin takes flight, reading books by the light of the moon. the end. That had another of my favorite things in it, creme brulee. That must be why I like it so much. Well, that's the end of Storytime for today, so thanks for coming. I know maybe Vivian's out there watching, and maybe some other kids. If you want me to say hi next time we do this, give us a call, drop us a line, let us know you're out there listening, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks. Bye.